And yes, let's get watch live right now on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 on those two platforms. You could be able to watch us and drop your comments as we go along. Let's start with the Punch newspaper, page 14 of the Punch. It's the editorial for the Punch here, improving living conditions in Lagos.
Yeah, it's a long editorial. It's well written, beautiful piece. It's timely, and I think that we will expand it when we come back at 9 o'clock. Half of the program will deal with this editorial. It talks about what we already know. Okay, it says, for example, Lagos has earned a reputation for filth and disorderliness for decades. Okay, it also has rendered it is a city of contrast and urban agglomeration that encompasses 14 of state local and so on. It talks about all that. It also says that there should be urban planning for Lagos. I hope the commissioner should please pass this editorial to the governor. He must read it. And it says a transport plan aimed at addressing traffic congestion in mega cities should be initiated and implemented. By the way, I congratulate the Lagos state government and my people. Finally, we have a befitting bus stop at Yaba. I hope it will also lead to getting rid of all those traders. We need to learn to apportion places where people can trade. I'm not completely against street trading, but we need to plan it better. And I hope with this new bus stop, the beauty of this particular bus stop is the simplicity in it. The simplicity in it, as opposed to that monstrosity that this governor's predecessor put together in Oshodi, is an eyesore and a total waste of money and the meager resources that we have. But that's a story for another day. But it says that efforts are simply not enough. Many problems are self-inflicted. It talks about transport. Efforts to instill order in the notoriously chaotic traffic signals have floundered due to the failure of strict and sustained law enforcement. It talks about that. It also says, okay, it has already said there should be urban planning. It says commercial motorcycles are inappropriate for an aspiring smart megacity and should be phased out. The governor has fallen flat on this, completely flat on this one. It says there's also a need to speed up all delayed infrastructure projects. The state itself is a construction site. No planning no, just keep blocking this place and blocking that place. All through the tenure of the governor, that's probably what we'll see. With a big construction site. Now, at face value, what it means is there's infrastructural development going on. But what the additional part is that in an election year, it is being said that it also provides funds for election and so on and so forth. If you get what I mean, I don't need to expand on that. It talks about how the tax net should be widened and so on and so forth. It now says something here. We will do a proper job at 9 o'clock. It says here, Sanwo-Olu needs to crush rampant criminality that has forced Western governments to issue travel advisories to their citizens and investors. It's a big shame. It's a big shame. Yesterday, I put somebody was going home in Yaba. I put them on notice, and somebody going on the other axis to Lekki. There was not one policeman in sight at 8 p.m. on the third mainland bridge, and on the Lekki axis all the way to Ibrahim Adesanya, there was no policeman in sight. Okay, there were no robberies either. So let me put that in the balance. But it says that the street gangs, cult thugs, armed robbers, and kidnappers terrorizing Lagosians must be tracked down, arrested, and prosecuted. State security outfits should be equipped and armed. The strategy of strong support for federal security agencies should be accompanied by local initiatives. The state should establish its own arm of Amotekun, the Southwest Regional Security Agency. And it now says something. Beyond projects, Lagos should henceforth roll out autonomous comprehensive economic plans and collaborate with neighboring states, especially Ogun, which I would gladly say they are doing now, and that gladdens our heart. We hope all that will come into fruition. Essentially, it's a wake-up call for the governor. People are just tired. And this is again and again a yellow card for our elite, a yellow card for the commissioner of police, and a yellow card for our governor. The Nigerian police force was not established to take care of just the elite, and we've just about had enough of that. We have had enough of our elite going up and down 3-4 policemen in tow, more for bragado reasons than for security in reality. In fact, the sight of it itself is you go to a function, you have two policemen in whatever what's this camo standing behind and carrying bags and so on. It's not even good for us as a people. And thank God that Alhaji Smith, the former IG, is a Lagosian. We'd like to call on him to call on the Commissioner of Police to do the needful. We can't have a police force that wants to protect only our elite, because what you now have is that other policemen are demoralized. The ones that follow the elites, they're better. Of course, they're better fed. When a guy is eating jollof rice, they eat the same, chicken same. They get more money. They're better. They get better uniforms and so on and so forth. Therefore, nobody wants to hit the streets. Tafeku. If I have a mate of mine in the police is with one or two of us are not even royal, self-created royal families with husband, wife, son, everybody in tow. Why should I want to be on the streets of Kirikiri? What we are doing is cruel. What we are doing to our people is cruel, and we should reject it. The police force was not set up for the elites. It wasn't set up to protect them. And guess what? If we continue along this path, it will not protect the elites. Let's move to the next story.
We are staying. Let's go to the Vanguard, though. Let's go. Page 8 says FG seeks law to regulate social online media.
Again, I'm going to say, criticize me as much as you like. We must have laws that regulate the social and online. You must have laws. What is most important is to ensure that the laws do not trample on people's rights. But to say that we will not have laws is impossible. And guess what? It occurred to me in the bathroom this morning that every time you hear about the social media, you always think about the opposition to government. Let me tell you, go to the social media and see the complete degenerate, inappropriate stuff that you see there, that even a teenager should not cite. I'm not even talking of the porno sites. That is bad enough. But even people you can recognize what they do, dancing naked, showing this, talking vulgar language. And everybody wants to be what you call a blogger. Accusing people, abusing people. So even you as a citizen, you need to be protected in the social media. And I think, but you see, what is most important is the laws, to make sure that the laws do not trample, and the law to make sure that whoever is in control is not the judge and jury in the case, like we have in certain circumstances.
But that's most likely going to be the case.
But we can find a way around it.
We've not found a way around.
We shouldn't.
But
that is not a reason why it shouldn't be regulated.
I really think that it should. The government has done enough. The social media platforms we're mentioning, they have internal control mechanisms.
They don't.
They do. You can actually report anybody that attacks you on social media. You can report it to those social media platforms, and actions will be taken.
See. I don't want people to have a wrong impression of what we are talking about. What is most important is for you to have the controls that don't trample on other people's rights. But the irresponsibility in the social media has to be checked.
It has to be checked.
I
get it. Government cannot be trusted. Imagine a government that is telling media houses to deinstall Twitter. Who is that regulation also? Is that part of regulation?
It might not be, but you don't get it.
So I'm just telling you that if you give a government 1 mile, the government will take 100 miles.
You put in checks. After all, government regulates our lives.
How do you check it?
Government, what are we going to have?
How many media houses? How many media houses have come up to say that you can't tell us to deinstall Twitter because you didn't buy the devices for us? You can't determine what we install on our devices.
When the government gave that order, how many media houses went to court?
That's what I'm saying. How many media houses called the government to order? How many?
And so we are saying
the
same thing.
You know why?
Yes.
You know why? Because you can't fight the government in this part of the world. They will victimize you. They will hunt you. That is what they do. So when you give them that leverage to go into the space of social media, they take 1 million miles. So they determine what is hate speech. They determine what. If anybody wakes up one morning and decides that I'm not feeling okay, goes to Twitter. This one is saying this is. hunts
No,
that guy.
I think you have simplified it.
I think that is what is going to happen.
You think, but I don't think so. Let me tell you, you have a constitution, for God's sake.
Ah, goodness me, Jimmy. Constitution.
We have a constitution.
Okay.
We have. We can't say because we don't trust government, we have a lawless society. What I'm saying is that the regulations must have some form of balance. That's why you have a constitution. If you breach it, you're taken to court, or you can go to court.
These social media platforms, they have internal mechanisms.
What is so special about
the government?
What is so special about this? What is so special about this social media that doesn't apply to other parts of our lives? If the government can regulate how you can go to Oingbo market and carry a megaphone and speak, so what is so special about the social media? Because it affects us as media.
No, not even the media. I'm not even speaking about the media. I'm talking about the freedom for people to be able to express themselves.
I have not
freely without the fear of being
Sheriff. I have not said that people should not have the freedom. It is the same
when
control.
When you say control and regulation, that is the literal meaning of it.
No. Listen.
To the custodians of these laws.
Let me take away the word control. I concede that, and let's go to regulation. The regulation that says that you just cannot go to Mr. So and so, face him, go to Mr. So and so's house, and thoroughly run him down. Don't forget that
is why you have libel. If anybody attacks you unlawfully on Twitter or on Facebook or any platform,
you know that the social media doesn't have boundaries.
Take the person to court. Why should you need a special law to do that?
No, you do need. We
have laws already.
I disagree. You do need special laws. Look, listen. I do not believe in a lawless society, and I don't believe
we are not a lawless society.
We are. We
have laws,
and I don't believe that any freedom is absolute.
I agree with you.
And then if you agree with me, let's move
to the next absolute. Let's move on to the next story. Okay, so this one here is about celebrating an outstanding dad.
Yes.
90 years.
Yes, we need to bring well, we do need some regulation. We need to I had to put in that last one. We need to bring back the culture of celebrating people. Not just for money, but because of the things they have done to society. Today we celebrate Alhaji Musiliu Ani Baba. He turns 90.
Wow.
He turns 90. Those of us who are close, we know how this man stood up when it was necessary. During Nadeko and so on and so forth, but that's a story for another day. He's described as an icon of over 60 years of integrity and probity. He's an accountant. He was the past president of ICANN and so many other things. And it is said here that he is from the Ani Baba. Ani Baba is the popular and distinguished Lagos family, and he is the Olori Ebi of that family, and he has so many people congratulating him today. We also join in the congratulations, sir. It's a pity we don't have his number. I would have loved to put a call through to him.
You don't see that every day, 90 years.
Sorry, you don't see that every day. And when I've heard people lay claims to say that, they are Lagos. No, these are the Lagosians. These are the people who have stood up in real terms with the people. This gentleman, I'm very proud of him. I wish. In fact, maybe I'll find my way to just go and have a cup of tea with him. This morning.
To you, sir.
But we need. I have to put in. I have to get the last one.
Okay, I've heard you. Okay.
All right.
No law on open grazing in Nigeria. Bashiru, Senate spokesman.
Well, I think in this case the president has been a bit embarrassed. Even Femi Falana here says that Femi Falana says is blaming the Attorney General for misleading him on the law on open grazing in Nigeria and so on and so forth. I think everybody should just sheath their swords, let the governors get together, let the president get together. I'm tired of this back and forth brickbat on this issue. Get together and let us have a solution to this problem. That is what is most important. Let us have a solution to this problem. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree.
So it's 2-1 now.
Yes, it's 2-1. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
But let me even ask you. Do you think that, you see, when I talk about regulation, do you actually get a sense of what I'm saying?
I am hoping,
What do you think I'm saying?
because when you talk about regulation, there is no other meaning to it. Monitor what is going on the social media, because
No.
that is what the government is trying to do.
No, that's not regulation, not monitor. Put in place.
What do you think they're trying to do?
Put in place. Listen, that's why you see. That is why the House of Reps, they've been told now the National Assembly to put in these laws. People should go to the open hearings, put their input.
And you think anything?
What bothers me? What bothers me? Seriously now, what bothers me? It's not even the anti-government activity that's going on. The obscenity. And our children's access to these things.
Control, it's easy. Everything is there. Report any post that is obscene. It's
who?
right there.
That's what we are saying now.
To the platforms. It's
no,
there.
some of these
report, you see
no,
there.
No.
What
about you are talking about platforms? Social media is not narrowed to Twitter, whatever. It's open to blogs. People who have blogs, who are bloggers, people who have various things, people who create. And to create these things, it takes less than 5 minutes.
Create what things, exactly?
To create blogs, to create platforms, takes less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What bothers me more is not so much the anti-government. The security forces will take care of that one. It is the obscenity. The obscenity that goes on there, it bothers me to bits. It bothers me. And our profession is also being threatened by everybody saying that, I'm a blogger, I'm this and I'm that. Fair enough. But the kind of obscenity and abuse that goes on in those areas, it has to be checked.
Now, who has the right to check it?
Well, that's what we need to decide. But you have to have rules and regulations that checking. If I come to this place and if I feel like taking a wee, I'm not going to go and wee in the reception. I'll go to the toilet. That's regulation. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it. Mm-hmm. Do this, don't do this. Do this, you'll be liable to this and you'll be liable to that. Mm-hmm. Let people not think that it's a free-for-all for you. That's all we are asking. Do you agree now?
To some extent, yes.
To some extent, that's 60-40.
If the obscene you're talking about is about attacking anybody and anything, you can always take anybody that violates anything to court.
I don't think it is as simple as that. I think people need to be protected, Sheriff. I think people need some kind of protection. The government one, the security forces will take care of that.
That's what we're talking about here. That is what we're talking about here. What do you think government is trying to do by saying that they want to regulate the social media?
The
bottom line is that they feel that social media is being used. Social media is threatening the existence of this country. That is the bottom line of
do you know that if you put in proper regulations, it can also stifle the government somewhat?
It won't.
Okay.
In this country.
Okay.
Government will do anything.
Okay. So what you are talking about now is the complete breakdown that we have. We are now a lawless society.
No, we have a law. Is adhering to that law and making use of the instrument of the law.
So because we
have laws in this country.
But you don't believe that we should have one step at a time so that we can have a better organized society?
What step are we talking about? Stifling the civic space? That's not a step. That's killing. When you try to make people, when you box people somewhere, by the time they will explode, you will not be able to handle it. And that's the mistake they're making. You want to stop people from freely expressing themselves?
I think you have
sharing their opinion.
I think you have a fatalistic approach to what I'm thinking.
Maybe.
What I'm thinking of. Like I told you, I'm thinking even beyond the media. Thinking beyond.
But the conversation is about now what the government is trying to do. That is what brought about this.
I still stand.
The social media.
I still stand where I stand. That we can't have a free for all, Sheriff. We can't have a free for all. Is it 2-1?
Shall we move on? No, it's still 2-1. You won. You won.
I won.
You won.
I didn't use age on you because I just let him go. Okay, let's go to the other one.
Let's go to page 18 of the Vanguard. Yeah, Obasanjo just true one Nigeria mantra. Yeah,
this is a fantastic editorial from the Vanguard, and this is the second editorial I'm having in a week from Vanguard, and it talks about just one Nigeria mantra, and how the Vanguard believes that we are better off as one country than split up in different ethnic groups, because over and above everything, even if we split up in ethnic groups, the split won't stop. You have an Adudua Republic today, then you find people of Osun saying that, look,
saying something that they
yes,
want to.
then Oyo and and so on and so forth. So they tend to. It says here that the various separatist efforts only arose because of the growing injustice, which is true, extreme nepotism, marginalization, condonation of herdsmen attacks, and insistence by the federal government that pastoralists should have access to people's ancestral lands. These were not those who fought for Nigeria's independence and the Civil War to keep Nigeria one labored for. Okay, Nigeria must continue to resist efforts by unpatriotic elements to render our country asunder. We believe that after the tempest, the sun will shine. Okay, Nigerians will once again be proud to belong to the one Nigeria of our collective dreams and aspirations. I don't think the problems I have, as I currently constituted, will be solved by creating an Oduduwa republic. Probably will even be compounded. The problem I have in Lagos is here. In my state, the elite have cornered all the policemen. The security apparatus has fallen apart. In my state, it's not the Hausa Fulani that have made it impossible for my governor to regulate traffic and control the environment. So I mean, it's not. There is no way an Oduduwa Republic will solve my own personal problem apart from the ego part of it. And I believe in countries that have gone apart. Are not trying to come back together again. If you look at how the Soviet Union was dismembered and into various fragments, the agitation has not stopped. So I mean, let's get this straight and identify what our problems are, who are our problem, and deal with them appropriately.
Right. I think you're right on that one. Really, I think.
Is it that you think
I think people are being distracted by a lot of things. They feel that.
Do you think it's deliberate?
On the part of the people?
The people that are distracting them.
I wouldn't know, because some of these things are age-long. You understand? Some of the calls are being there, and rightly so, because they've felt marginalized for a very long time, and that's also obvious in the way we do things, especially at the central.
I think we need to bury our escapist tendencies. We're quickly to say, oh, God will do it, or if we leave this country, things will be better. I think we need to sit down and actually plan. And look, the marginalization you are talking about is only temporary for as long as this government lasts. 8 years ago, you were not complaining about that when Jonathan was president. So it's now a cycle. You understand? It's a cycle. What you need is to hold on to your leaders and make sure that they put you into consideration first. That is what is most important. Your local government chairman, your governor, your senator. You see, we want democracy, but we are not ready to go through the whole process.
Yeah.
That would lead to a better country. And that is part of what I said. No, don't let me bring that one up again. I need to cool you down. I buy you a beer. You don't drink beer?
No.
What can I bribe you with?
Nothing. I don't need
I know what I'll bribe you
I don't
with.
need a bribe now.
I know
Why do you think you should bribe me?
I don't want to cool you down. I can see where you are looking. There was somebody in this seat yesterday. You are not looking in that seat. Looking at that seat with some memory. Yes.
Why would I do that? I wasn't even here all through the show, so why would I do it? Why?
So you know what I was referring to.
But see now, yeah. see now. Yeah?
What is that?
The ring now.
This is not. Yeah, in front that is not.
It's the ring now. I'm a one woman.
No.
I'm a one woman man.
This is what Yoruba. If I say frosted, sorry I use that word in English. It's so bad. But if I said it in Yoruba, you understand. We need DPT.
This is ring. Call it whatever type of ring.
This is not.
What finger is this one?
It's not the finger, it's the ring.
Okay now.
Oh my God. You always crack my day, honestly.
All right.
Okay, do you have one?
I think we can squeeze in this one here. Imo is now safe, Commissioner of Police.
Well, yes. The Commissioner of Police claims that Imo is safe. It's a food speed report. The part that bothers me, it also says, the report says that the Bakassi boys have returned to the southeast. And that, you see, it might look like a relief in the short run, but in the long run, is a disaster waiting
But
to
didn't
happen.
people even complain about the Bakassi boys?
That's what I'm saying. You know, it might look like relief in the short run, but in the long run, you can't have a lawless
No,
environment.
you can't.
That's the bottom line. You can't. Look, it says here, Imo lawmaker security man behead. Oh my God, how's motorcycle punts? Okay.
We must go now. What's coming up at
must go.
9?
Well, we'll extend this discussion.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
The what is burning on my mind. I also have a guest though.
Okay.
But what is burning on my mind is the security situation. There are two things to it. The selfish part is that it affects me.
See the
The other part is that it affects you. And nobody is exempt from this all. Yeah.
That's what I did this morning. I wanted to see the areas that people called in to complain about security station.
Wow.
Jangbadi area, Onyigbo, Agric bus stop, First Gate, First Act to Agbara, Mile 2, Agege to Mile 12, Jakonde, Lekki, Imotasis.
No Eco Bridge.
No,
Third,
No, they didn't mention
Third Mainland.
they didn't mention Third Mainland because
because nobody lives there.
We even had limited time, and
So I'll carry. I'll take it
exactly,
along with it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Jimmy, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sheriff. God bless you.
You too. I'm Sheriff.
And keep
Many
that
thanks to
ring, keep that
MTN. Which thing?
This ring, dude.
Of course. Yes.
Sorry, let me just take 1 second. This is not the kind of ring.
Oh
Nothing by your
my
lady.
God! Bye. That's not what I use it for. That's not what I use. It's the fine ring. We have to go now.
I have to go.
Yeah, bye.
You've waited so long, and now the doors are wide open for you to join MTN, the Yellow Family.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.